Then you have Blake fucking Lively showing up with her spray tan and her boobs propped up.
But are you Team Blake or Team Justin? He said, I don't speak English, Gail.
Team it ends with us.
An alleged retaliatory public smear campaign to destroy her reputation.
Dueling lawsuits between the stars Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. I did a video on this a couple of weeks ago.
The legal battle between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni has intensified, with Baldoni's team now accusing Lively of dishonesty in her latest complaint. What began as a professional dispute during the production of It Ends With Us has spiraled into a full-blown legal war, filled with competing lawsuits, leaked documents, and public barbs from both sides. Baldoni's team is holding nothing back, calling out what they claim are fabrications and manipulations in Lively's amended complaint.
In Blake's complaint, she alleged that before the movie even began filming, Justin inserted improvised, gratuitous, intimate content and or scenes involving lack of clothing. We're just going to say it all like that, okay? That included an underage character in highly unsettling ways. Now remember, he's the main character and he's the producer. So she's saying now that they're getting ready to start filming, now he's inserting all these like inappropriate scenes that she's saying she didn't know about before. She says that this disturbing conduct allegedly continued on while filming as well.
While Blake insists she's standing up for herself and others who felt uncomfortable on set, Baldoni's legal representatives argue that her allegations are exaggerated and strategically designed to harm his reputation. With millions of dollars on the line and careers potentially at stake, neither party is backing down. So, what exactly is Baldoni's team saying, and how is Blake's camp responding to these explosive accusations? Let's break down the latest twists in this high-stakes Hollywood feud.
As mentioned in her original complaint, the amended lawsuit alleges that after Lively claims she first reported a concern about Baldoni's behavior in 2023, another female cast member reported her own concern regarding Mrs. Baldoni's unwelcome behavior to a representative for Sony and another one of the film producers. After Sony rep shared the concern with Baldoni, he responded to the female cast member in writing, acknowledging that he was aware of her concern and that adjustment would be made, the complaint states.
In a dramatic turn, both legal teams have filed competing documents, each accusing the other of twisting the truth. Baldoni's team took a particularly aggressive stance, claiming that Lively's complaint is riddled with falsehoods and designed to manipulate public perception. They argue that Blake's claims of on-set misconduct are exaggerated and not supported by credible evidence. This back and forth has only deepened the divide between the two stars, as fans pick sides in an increasingly public battle.
The marketing guru and Justin Baldoni have kept us and the judge in their consolidated federal case very busy. Hello, my fam, Perez Hilton here, the original influencer and your #1 source for everything It Ends With Us saga. It was a holiday weekend in the United States, President's Day, but the lawyers for these two did not take the holiday off. Remember last week I told you that Taylor Swift's former bestie filed a lot of subpoenas against Justin Baldoni, his publicist, the crisis PR expert, the billionaire co-founder of his company, against a cell phone provider, email provider, and she wanted not just call logs, she wanted emails, she wanted locations of where people were when they were sending calls and texts and emails. Now, I'm gonna catch you up where we left off last. After the wife of Alanis Morissette's former fiance filed her subpoenas, Baldoni's legal team objected vigorously to the judge. Then on Saturday, February 15th, lawyers for the Nepo baby sent Judge Lyman a new letter. Lawyers for the hair care professional allege that they are only seeking non-content data, such as call logs.
Adding another layer to the drama, Blake and her husband, Ryan Reynolds, made a surprise appearance at the SNL 50th anniversary special. While intended to be a lighthearted moment, critics argue that the timing was a bad move given the ongoing legal battle. Baldoni's camp believes the appearance was an attempt to distract from the lawsuit, while some media analysts claim it only fueled public scrutiny. For Blake and Ryan, public appearances meant to preserve their image may now be backfiring.
Then you have Blake fucking Lively showing up with her spray tan and her boobs propped up. Blake's just like, hello everyone. Khaleesi's here. I'm here with my dragon. Our life is perfect. Nothing's wrong. Basically saying, no fucks given. Yes, I am currently trying to ruin my co-workers' life and career. Hello?
Brandon Sklenar, a co-star in It Ends With Us, was recently asked which side he supports in the legal dispute. While he attempted to remain neutral, his comments hinted at the tension on set during production. The growing divide within the cast raises questions about how widespread the issues were and whether Blake's claims hold weight behind the scenes. This rift has not only affected the legal teams, but also personal and professional relationships within the film's crew.
But are you Team Blake or Team Jess? He said, I don't speak English, Gail.
Team It Ends With Us.
It Ends With Us star Brandon Sklenar playing Switzerland when it comes to the drama between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni.
It's unfortunate that things get taken away from what the ethos of that thing is, and it gets convoluted, and I just want to remind people of why that thing exists in the first place.
Heartless.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
She has a really amazing ability to make people feel really good and comfortable.
Brandon, who played Blake's love interest in the film, now weighing in on the she said, he said legal battle between his former co-stars on CBS Mornings.
It doesn't involve you, but because you're in the cast, I'm wondering what you're thinking about.
Yeah, I mean, I just want people to remember why we made the movie in the first place and what it stands for. And
I would imagine at this point you're Bennett. You said, I'm not in it, but are you Team Blake or Team Jess? He said, I don't speak English, Gail.
Team It Ends With Us.
Meanwhile, Team Blake made their first public appearance over the weekend at Saturday Night Live's 50th anniversary special. Ryan Reynolds attempting to bring some comic relief to his wife's ongoing lawsuit.
Oh, hey, Ryan Reynolds. Hey, hey. Ryan Reynolds, how's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
What started as private disagreements during filming has now escalated into lawsuits, leaked documents, and public character attacks. Legal experts warn that the level of hostility between the two camps could have long-lasting repercussions on both stars' careers. Baldoni's team claims that Lively's decision to take the dispute public was irresponsible and has caused unnecessary damage to the project. Observers are now questioning if there's any chance for resolution or if this battle will drag on for years.
Harassment and alleged retaliatory public smear campaign to destroy her reputation. Oh my gosh, y'all, this, when you hear that at first, you think, okay. And then when you get into it, you're like, this is a roller coaster, okay? Justin Baldoni, he starred in the movie with Blake, and he also directed and produced it. So you got one man who was the director, the producer, and the lead star. I don't know how you wear that many hats and keep it all together and keep it fair and stay in character and all of that, but nevertheless, that's what he did. Now, Blake is claiming that Justin exhibited very disturbing and unprofessional behavior on set that led to a hostile work environment. The claim was also filed against producer Jamie Heath. Jamie and Justin's production company, Wayfarer Studios, as well as its co-founder Steve, as well as two women named Melissa and Jennifer.
In a stunning move,
both Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni have filed lawsuits against each other. While Blake's lawsuit focuses on alleged misconduct and professional boundary violations, Baldoni's countersuit accuses her of defamation and intentional misrepresentation. His legal team insists that Lively's claims are baseless and designed to sabotage his reputation. The stakes are high, with millions of dollars and both stars' public images on the line.
Dueling lawsuits between the stars Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. I did a video on this a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't necessarily plan to do a follow-up, but there have been so many twists and turns in the story, and as I said in the first video, I'm not here necessarily to talk about gossip. There is so much of this case that involves the production side of Hollywood, the industry side of Hollywood, and as someone who covers the entertainment industry, I felt like there was enough about that to warrant a second video. If you want a primer on how all of this began, then I suggest that you watch my first video on this, which you can find up there at the link above. Just before the new year, on New Year's Eve, Justin Baldoni filed a $250 million lawsuit against the New York Times.
Blake's amended complaint includes allegations that other women on set felt uncomfortable during filming. However, Baldoni's legal team has responded forcefully, stating that no formal complaints were filed during production and accusing Blake of manufacturing claims to strengthen her case. This accusation raises questions about the validity of Blake's claims and whether they reflect widespread issues or isolated incidents.
Blake Lively amended complaint claims Justin Baldoni made other women uncomfortable on set. Can corroborate. Man, already this headline just pisses me off because it seems like, what does it mean? Make you feel uncomfortable, right? What does it mean? All of a sudden now we have to put in the spectrum of harassment, of serious stuff, words like uncomfortable. Well, you gotta make up your mind. I want to know what we're talking about here. It made you feel uncomfortable because it wasn't friendly on the set, right? Because it didn't make you feel like the queen of the castle or something. This type of stuff is really getting out of hand. And it feels like it's not 2016 anymore. You know, the fake Me Too movement is not working.
In an attempt to bolster her case, Blake's team leaked alleged HR complaints filed with Sony against Baldoni. While this seemed like a breakthrough moment, Baldoni's representatives argued that the documents were taken out of context and that no formal disciplinary actions were ever pursued. Whether this helps or hurts Blake's case remains to be seen, but it has certainly added fuel to the fire.
Guys, we are still days away from Blake Lively's amended complaint. But did she just leak her smoking gun to the internet? Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signar, and my goodness, I've been getting sent this all weekend, so much so that I realized I gotta make a video to address it. Because look, I'm not buying it yet. I'm not buying this. However, if this proves to be true, and this is in fact included in Blake's complaint, well, then Justin's gonna have some explaining to do. But I wanted to break it down because so many of you guys are sharing it now. It's been sent to me a bunch. I see other people that I admire and respect starting to report on it. It'd be pretty shady that this came forward. So it's another reason why I'm confused why this would even come out. If she's secretly leaking this and to try to like, ooh, maybe guys, see, this is why you're not believing Blake. So let's just summary. Complaint says she was uncomfortable with Justin yesterday while filming. She states Baldoni put his bare hands on her derriere and said he was trying to help with her posture. Complaint immediately voiced her displeasure with this and said, he said apparently, "It's fine. I'm totally hot for my wife." Now, if he said that, and that was his justification.
Legal analysts have pointed out a critical error in Blake's amended complaint that could cost her millions of dollars. By allegedly removing key text messages from her filing, she may have weakened her credibility in court. Baldoni's team claims this omission was intentional, while Blake's side insists it was a clerical oversight. Regardless of intent, the potential financial consequences are enormous.
Now, if you want more background on the story, I have already put out 2 videos on the subject. One of them is a little bit more of a how we got here kind of video, and then also analyzes some of the behind the scenes footage that Baldoni's team released to the public to see how it actually impacts the claims involved. Then the other one talks about Blake Lively's seeming attempt to get out of being deposed. If you are interested in either of those, links to both are in the description below, as well as to a new playlist for all of these videos to link them all together. Okay, so with all of that said, I'm going to do a bit of a deep dive into the litigation privilege in this video here, but first I want to do a quick overview of Jed Wallace's lawsuit so that everyone is kind of on the same page here. Last week it was reported that Blake Lively was being sued again, this time by Jed Wallace, who, like I said, owns the crisis PR firm Street Relations Inc.
Experts analyzing Blake and Justin's body language during interviews and public appearances have pointed out subtle cues indicating deep-seated animosity. From defensive gestures to forced smiles, their interactions suggest that the feud may have been brewing long before it became public. Fans are now revisiting old footage to spot moments where the tension might have first emerged.
There are a mess of lawsuits flying around in the aftermath of the movie It Ends With Us, starring Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. Lively started with a complaint, then a lawsuit against Baldoni as well as Wayfarer Studios for a list of things including harassment and retaliation. Baldoni responded with a $250 million libel lawsuit against the New York Times, who he claims cowered to the wants and whims of Blake Lively and published an incomplete and out-of-context story of the events that happened on set. Now, I've been getting a lot of requests to cover this topic, and because it's a very sensitive topic and there are a lot of accusations going back and forth, I have to be very selective, because to do what I do, I need to see footage of the involved individuals talking about these topics. Not texts, not written statements, not their lawyers talking about it. I need to see footage of them addressing these things.
Many are questioning why Blake chose to amend her lawsuit rather than stick to the original filing. Baldoni's team argues that the amendment was a desperate attempt to include new allegations after realizing the initial complaint lacked impact. Blake's legal team, however, insists that the new filing strengthens her position with added details and testimonies. Whether this move will pay off or backfire remains one of the biggest questions in the case.
This amended complaint, which Blake Lively filed, her legal team did, last night at 11:59 p.m. All right. This is their amended complaint now against Justin. Remember, they asked for the date of March 5th to get this in. The judge said, no, get this to me right after President's Day weekend. Here are the bullet points of what's inside. They allege Mr. Baldoni's social combat plan, which I've never heard of before. This is an SCP, a social combat plan, has resulted in the viral spread of hateful, threatening, and derogatory harassment and cyberbullying, and that the environment is a culture of fear and intimidation is extremely dangerous. That's what they're saying right now.
With Justin Baldoni's team now openly accusing Blake Lively of dishonesty, the legal battle between these two Hollywood stars has reached a boiling point. Both sides are trading serious allegations, with lawsuits filed, reputations on the line, and the public glued to every twist. Baldoni's camp insists that Blake's claims are fabricated and strategic, while Blake maintains she's standing up against mistreatment.
Is Blake corresponding with, I believe, Step and Repeat, the black carpet worker, asking them to move along, whatever, and the way she's being extremely nice, because on past red carpets, she's very cold and entitled and arrogant to the individuals who are supposed to move them down so different press outlets can get photos of them. But what it's really giving from her is sort of similar to what went down with Lea Michele after her quote-unquote scandalation, everything that came out about her on the Glee set, and the way she was acting when she premiered Funny Girl, and how she was corresponding in interviews, on red carpets. She was being nicer than we've ever seen her be before. We all know why, it's so obvious, I don't have to get into that, but I just think it's very, very interesting. Also, that clip of him talking to Amy Poehler and that
as legal experts weigh in and more information surfaces,
it's like
the outcome of this case remains uncertain. Will Blake's amended complaint hold up in court, or will Baldoni's aggressive pushback expose weaknesses in her claims? One thing is clear, the feud between these two isn't ending anytime soon, and the fallout could be career-defining for both. The next court hearing is expected to be explosive, and fans are bracing for what could be the most dramatic chapter yet in this Hollywood showdown.